All right, welcome back to the Bridging the Gap podcast. Today, I am joined by one of my students, GT. He's all the way from Vietnam. He's spending some time here stateside. And in the last 30 days, we're going to pull back the curtains on how GT went from zero sales experience to making his first month $5,000 in cold, hard commissions. We're also going to dive into the mindset of what it takes to succeed, what a day in the life of a high ticket phone setter is, and what his goals are to get to 10 and 20K a month over the next 6 months. So GT, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Bridger. Excited to be here.
Excited, man. So for you guys listening at home, as a reward, right, GT on the first coaching call, he's like, hey man, like what do I need to do to meet you in person? And I'm just curious, before we get into that story, why did you want to meet me in person? What do you think the value of meeting a mentor in person is?
Yeah. So I've always believed in like the value of a mentorship, having a mentor, learning from someone who's been there, done that. I think that is like the key to, shortcutting the process, the learning curve. And it's just like the best way to get to where you want to go like faster, right? So I watched like some of your videos on YouTube, watch you on social media as well. And I was like, I love this guy. I mean, like his values, his mindset, the way he talks, his confidence, his charisma. Hopped on a call with you and I was super nervous then. I wanted to I've never asked this before, can I be your mentor, let alone can I stay with you, meet you in person and everything? Yeah. Guy from Vietnam, 18-year-old, meeting, guy that has generated over $5 million in sales. That's something, and took that leap of faith.
That's why you're here, man. So let's break that down, dude. So you go through my funnel, right? You get into my school group, right? Which I have for those of you guys that don't know, I have a course right now. I'm giving it away for $3, literally $3. He got access to that. And he starts going through the material. He starts resonating with it. And in that group, we offer a free coaching call, right? Where you talk with Coach David, right? Or one of the other guys on my team. And what did they do on that call that you felt like was really valuable in setting up the stage for us to be able to work together?
Yeah. First of all, they provided me a crap ton of value. Hopping on that call, the first intention was to help me as a closer, help me as a setter. And, the call is called the archetype call. I think that's what it's called. To really, find out what I'm best at and what I would be the best in, there's B2B and B2C, right? That's one of the first things he determined, whether or not I should be a salesperson talking to business or consumers. What's the best thing for me based on my personality and based on what I like doing? So that's what, David kind of guided me through and gave me some piece of advice for. Just add value. Defining my goals as well is something that was really important. He wanted to, break it down month by month and figure out a roadmap on how to get there. So that gave me a lot of confidence that, hey, these guys can get me to where I want to go. And then they stretched that goal as well. That's the whole beauty of having a mentor. And that got me really excited because it's I can get to 15K in, 3 months, 6 months from now, rather than just 3 years, 5 years. So learning from someone who's been there, done that is always something that it's the smartest way to go.
Totally. Where were you before you started getting mentored by me?
Yeah. So before, I've invested in several programs, to be honest. I didn't have the, it didn't feel, it didn't feel enough to actually get to where I want to go. It was okay. I have some education, I have the basis, the foundation as well. But there wasn't anything that was unique about the mentorship or the program to really take it to the next level. Because especially for an 18-year-old, you need that accountability, you need that confidence. You need to change yourself as a person because who you are as a person will be reflected on your sales calls. You have to overcome your fears, your insecurities as well. That's something that really resonated with you or with me when I watched you, is that, it's not only about the skill set, it's also about, you as a person, the mindset, you as a man as well, your, personal life. So kind of implement
Bridging
those
the
two
gap.
aspects. Bridging the gap, exactly.
That's why we do what we do, is to bridge that gap, right? To make our personal and our professional life one life, right? A lot of people talk about work-life balance. Let's just have life balance, right? Let's just focus on the 5 Bs, right? If you can master these in the right order, your life will be exponentially further ahead than most guys. Most guys completely reverse the order. And the problem with that is they end up getting into the wrong group of guys, right? Like one of the there's like 3 things that if you do, the chance of you becoming wealthy, like dramatically like drop. Number 1 is getting a girl pregnant in high school, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is not finishing high school. And then number 3 is what's number 3? I can't remember what number 3 is actually, but those are the main 2. Like if you go for the wrong chick, you get a girl pregnant. Okay, now you have all this responsibility without the actual skills and the life built up, the foundation to be able to support that. There's so much stress that it can cause a lot of guys to stumble and families to fall apart. So what I teach with my B5 system is first you got to conquer your mindset, your beliefs. That's the first B, right? If you conquer your beliefs, what you believe about yourself, God, the world around you, now you've got a foundation. You got the right lens to be able to see success, right? We talked about this on one of the coaching calls, right? Mindset is like your eyes. You need to see where you're going. If you're pointed in the wrong direction with your eyes, it doesn't matter how good your skill set is, because if you pick the wrong plot of land to work, because we talk about working our land a lot, right? Proverbs 27:17 says, he who works his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lacks judgment, will starve. So in relating that, it's like pick your plot of land based on the vision you want to create for your life, then get the skill set. So mindset comes first with beliefs. Conquer your beliefs. The second is your body, right? You saw me literally here. We've hit like 3-4 workouts since you've been here, right? Like I take my physical fitness, my nutrition, my supplements, my meal prep very serious. I got a private chef in the other room, whooping up some fire organic burgers, turkey burger. What'd you think when you came over and you said I had a private chef? Did you believe me?
That's impressive. Like who has a private chef? Like in Vietnam, private chef is not even a thing. But yeah, private chef. And yeah, I mean, like this guy, he takes care of his health, his mindset as well. That's super important. Super strict about your workout as well, and got some good comments about like your body, how you're growing as a man, your physique as well is getting better and everything. So yeah, good for you, man.
Dude, yeah, thank you. Well, dude, I mean, it's good for you, dude, because you were in there crushing it with me as well in the gym, and took you to one of Andy Elliott's workouts, which was epic. What do you think about that? Getting around Andy Elliot, that group of guys. What do you think about the culture over there?
The energy is different. Like as soon as I stepped out the Uber, I can feel the energy. It's like the standards. It's a completely different world. Just the energy there, the standards. How do you say the hype? They're not messing around. They're like having this like the culture as well. That's something that's very impressive about him. Is that he creates this culture where it's like an army. It's like he builds an army, and then he builds this like team that is really cool to see. Yeah,
he's regimented. All the guys dress, talk, walk, look the same. Yeah. Right. Definitely a lot of respect there. I love that guy. And the cool thing I liked about that interaction that we had was he gave you some really valuable coaching advice in that moment, right? Because I was like, I know Andy personally, right? And so I was like, hey, this is my student GT from Vietnam. I introduced you guys. And then I was like, test him on the roll, battle test him right now. Think about it. And GT went through all of Andy Elliott's trains and mastered that I need to think about it for car sales. And so he ripped the role play and he said he did a great job, but he gave you some feedback as well. What was that?
Yeah. So obviously I knew the framework by heart. Like that's, read it word for word in front of Andy, but I didn't look him in the eyes. I didn't give him that like confidence, that trust, that credibility when looking or, talking to someone. You have to look them in the eye. So he said, I'm very proud of you. That's the first thing that he said. And he says like one weakness though is you need to look people in the eyes. Ever since then, I'm like been practicing my confidence, looking people in the eyes when I have conversation with them. But yeah, it was great feedback because like 3 years ago, if I met someone like Andy who gave me that feedback, I'd be like devastated, It's like, we'll feel like super insecure after, but feedback is great now.
What changed in your mindset? Because I've met those people where feedback is taken as a shot at their personal self-esteem or self-worth. How did you start to differentiate that feedback is actually like valuable and building you up versus tearing you down?
Yeah. So I look at feedback now as a chance to getting better. That's it. Every weakness is an opportunity to get better, and I like getting better. So it's as simple as that. you know. And I want to adopt like a growth mindset as well, because I know that everything is, you know, is never fixed. Like if I'm an introvert and I want to get into sales, there's no reason why I can't be, you know, an extrovert, not an extrovert, but someone who's comfortable speaking with people and someone who's not like super shy, super timid. And that's something that definitely can be fixed if you just take the feedback, totally recreate yourself, and just try to be, you know, a sponge, a student.
Talking like Andy Elliot now, dude. I love it. But no, yeah, I think that's awesome, man. And so dude, we had an entire VIP day. What was your experience like spending time with me like in person? Am I the same way on camera as in person, or what are the differences?
Yeah, there's no difference, first of all. Your confidence is the first thing that I, you know, picked up. Your charisma. Everything you say is just like enthusiastic as hell.
As heaven.
As heaven.
I ain't going to hell, guys. I'm a believer. Jesus is my savior, okay? I escaped that. I got a one-way ticket to heaven after this life.
Yeah.
Just to make that clear.
Yeah, you're awesome. I mean, like, you take care of me. You offered me to like spend a weekend with you living in your apartment. You said, hey, like, come by me. I have like this room. You don't need to like rent a hotels or anything like that. So, you know, super caring and everything like that. One more thing that I wanted to mention though is what? Oh, okay. So the life or the day that I spent with you, it's literally a dream come true. It's like I've always wanted that. It's on my vision board to have dinner with someone who's like highly successful. We bought suits. We went to like Andy Elliot workout. Just spend a day with you. Just like that energy that, you know, there's a certain aura around you that really influences the way you think and the way you operate. And you're just at a higher like frequency when, you know, you're surrounded by these types of people.
Yeah. So you believe in the power of mentorship then?
For sure.
Yeah, I believe in it too. And that's the reason why I open up my home to guys like you. And I've done this for more than just you, right? Like I've had a couple students come and visit me. And the reason I do this is because when I was 18, that's what my mentor showed to me, right? And I believe in the power of exponential change, right? Like Greg, founder KinoBody, right? I was 18 following his programs. We built a relationship over a year or so. And then he invites me out, right? I pay on my own dollar to get out there. But dude, I felt the same way. 18, showing up in Toronto, Canada. I vlogged the whole thing. It's on YouTube. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's epic, bro. It's epic. So I was 18 visiting him and I felt the same way. I was like, dude, the way this guy operates, the way this guy walks, talks, thinks is on a totally different level. Right. And I actually started, I did similar things to you. Like I looked at him, I watched how he walked and then I modeled his walk.
Yeah.
And then the next time we saw each other, he's like, bro, you stole my walk. Yeah. He's like, you stole my damn walk. And so it's pretty funny. I even stole his haircut at one point, but now I've got my own thing that I've kind of built now and other people are following in my footsteps, but I always like to give back. Like once I create a level of success, how can I share that and pass that on? And that's how I think you create change and impact in the world. So yeah. So one of the other things that you know, you and I have been able to do is train together, right? Train in terms of sales, mindset, business, and that's the third B, right? We never finish that. I do that a lot. I start different things, create open loops, etc. But business is the third B, right? And I think that's really important to do that in that order because then you need to take care of your business as a man, right? You need to take care of your finances, take care of your career, take care of your purpose, take care of your mission, your vision for your life. That comes first, then your brotherhood. Because if you don't have your business taken care of, then brotherhood could be found in the form of a gang or a mafia. But I would never join a gang or a mafia because my business is out of alignment with that brotherhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Too many guys are looking for brotherhood first.
Right.
And they get into the wrong groups of guys. They start, you know, doing hazing and all these like frats. I always told myself if I ever went to college again, I'd create my own frat. And it would be around making money, traveling the world, and learning more about God, like doing cool stuff, high value stuff.
Right.
Versus just drinking, eating crap food, you know, beating each other up, like just complete waste. Right. There's better ways to do that. If you want to go through pain, because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to create pain, trying to create an experience. You create the bonding. There's healthier ways to do that. Cold plunging. We hit the cold plunge together, training hard as hell together, right? Or hard as heaven. And so the biggest thing that I think I want to just share with you, pass on a lesson to you is if you put your business and your beliefs and your body first, you'll find the right people to surround yourself with. And I was a lone wolf for a little while. And I wrote down the types of people I want to surround myself with because I cut out all the losers.
Gotcha.
Too many guys are afraid to cut out the losers and be alone. The reality is that you have to, if you want to run with lions and you're currently running with sheep, you got to become a lone wolf first.
Gotcha.
No one talks about this. You got to become a lone wolf first, and you got to be like freaking James Bond. You got to be a secret agent. You got to be in and out doing your own business. And pretty soon, this pack of lions is going to see this lone wolf and be like, that's one of our cubs. That guy belongs with us, and they'll adopt you. And that's what happened to me, is I got adopted by all these high value mentors and people. And it was because I didn't associate with sheep. I didn't associate with losers. And that's the biggest lesson I think I could teach for people. Like, how do you build your network? Dude, I don't hang out with losers. I don't hang out with people that aren't, 5, 10 steps ahead of me, or are in the same growth mindset that I'm able to pass down lessons to them, and they're a good representation of my core values as a man.
Right.
So you get around the right brotherhood, guys that build you up, not tear you down, guys that you can trust with your girl, guys you could trust with your money, right? Andrew Tate talks about this, right?
Yep.
He's like, I need to be able to leave my girl with this guy, give him all my money, and know that it's going to be taken care of when I come back. That's a true brotherhood, right? And that takes trust, and that takes loyalty and honor, right? That's one of my personal core values, is honor. So then the last, if you do those 4 right as a man, you become so high value in a category that most women only dream of. And that's when you become what I call a high value man. And I actually created a program on this back in the day. I charged $4,800, right? I closed like 10, 12 people at the time when my dating videos were going viral, tens of millions of views. And that's the concept that I taught. It's like, stop chasing women, start attracting women. How do you attract women? You become a high value guy. If you think different, if you talk different, if you look different, if you act different, if you are different, then girls are going to be attracted to that. If you represent the things that women want, safety, stability, right? Provision, right? Attractiveness, you take care of your body, dude, flocking. They'll literally flock, right? And you'll have options and abundance versus scarcity and limits. So that's for me, my life formula and how I stack things. I see a lot of guys do it opposite. They start chasing chicks young. And I did this for a little while, right? When I was younger, that was the lesson you share with me. Like, what, we'll get into this. We're actually gonna do a 2-part podcast where you actually ask me questions on he asked me a really good question when we were on a walk, which is like, what do you wish you would have known at 18, right? So if you want to know the answer to that question, the video will be annotated right here. You can check it out. And it's the part 2 of this video. But getting back to the interview about you, I know I went on a little riff right there, but I want to get back to, so you, before this program, you'd bounced around to different programs. What about this coaching program, my mentorship, the Freedom Closer Academy and certification is different?
Yeah. So the first thing that I want to emphasize on is like the weekly coaching calls. So I know that, there are a lot of mentorship and programs they organize and they schedule meeting calls as well. But one thing about Bridger, one thing about you is that, you have connections everywhere. Like every single, like if we go out, like every 5 minutes you say hi to somebody or someone says hi to you, right? Somehow he lives in this apartment. There's like celebrities, business owners, millionaires, like every single, corner you walk through. So you have that connection there. You always invite guest speakers, which I think is like incredible, because not only do we get to learn from the best in the industry, we get to like ask them questions as well and interact with them. Like that's like an opportunity of a lifetime, right? One time, you invited one of the top sales guy in like the Elliot army. Dropped some like massive value. You invited like Michael as well. That's something that's super unique about your program. You invite guest speakers and you leverage your connections to actually help others. The second thing is Bridger himself. He actually sold like how much was your highest month like in commission
As a closer?
Yeah,
$35,000.
yeah, there you go. So like he had experience. He's been in the game, been in the trenches, so you actually know what you're talking about. I watched your videos before I even joined. That way I know like who I'm dealing with and, like if this is the right mentor for you, for me, sorry. So it's really important to learn from someone who's actually experienced what I will experience and kind of help me not, I guess, repeat the same mistakes or also like improve like what I can improve on. And then the community as well. Super interactive. It's never dead. We're like family in here. Everyone supports each other. It's like role play buddies. This is something that I've never heard before. Like role play buddies. The first thing that he told me is, I'm going to pair you up with someone in the community so you guys can be role playing every single day. That's brilliant because we need to like practice and hone on our skill set like every single day. And having someone who is holding you accountable, being your friend, and actually, helping you to be the prospect so that you can actually implement your framework and everything that he tells you. That's hands-on learning experience. And we do like on average like 4 role plays every single guy.
Yeah, we don't take our training lightly. And I hold you guys accountable. I'll call people out on the Zoom call. I'm like, hey, how many role plays did you do? Right.
That's what I want to talk about as well. Because every time we do call reviews, you're super honest. You tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And this is something that I'm looking for, especially when I want to be coached by someone or like a mentor, is that I want people to tell me like what I really need to, like my blind spots. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to, oh, you could have done this better or something. Like, you get straight to the point and you give us like a solution as well, which is like brilliant. And you give those like little tips, little pieces of advice. I'll give you one right now that which Bridger told me. It's that, an average salespeople, they overcome objection. Professional and elite people, they transcend objections. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So basically the concept here is that, average ordinary salespeople know how to handle objections, and world-class salespeople and communicators transcend objections. Meaning if you're trying to handle an objection, that means that you're taking the objection at face value and you're dealing with the situation at the same level that the objection was created. Mm-hmm. World-class people, right? There's actually a formula where it's just like, you can't solve a problem in the same energy or an environment that it was created.
Gotcha.
You have to transcend it first to look outside, look into the problem. And I don't know the exact law. I'm sure you guys can leave a comment what I'm talking about here. But in order to transcend an objection, you must understand the belief and the mindset behind the objection and transform the person's belief, right? The best salespeople in the world are belief breakers and belief builders. Belief breakers and belief builders, meaning they can break down a negative belief, a self-limiting belief, and build up a stronger belief. And if they believe this, then the prospect has to say yes and give you their money.
Awesome. Ninja level stuff there.
Yeah.
And I actually implemented on what of, when we were in the balcony,
yeah,
I think I transcended an objection. Told me, it's like, it's going to put me in the rough spot. Like, I don't want to have money to spend. It's like, why are you even doing this, right? You're doing this because you want more money to not care about not having enough money. Is that, would that be an example of like transcending objection?
Exactly. You're basically challenging the way they think. You're challenging his belief system. His belief system is saying, hey, I can't spend money because I don't have money.
Yeah.
You're challenging the belief to saying you don't have money because you haven't been spending money. You need to start spending money, investing money to make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire. So to wrap up this first half of the podcast, we'll get into the second half where you interview me. I want to know, dude, like walk me through tell me a story, dude, on you and I get on the first call together. Okay. I close you, right? I sign you up. What's going through your head and how do you end up in the next 30 days hitting the goal that we set to land literally right here in Scottsdale, Arizona, sitting across from me? Because I told you, I was like, dude, you hit $5,000. You're like, when can I come see you? Like in person, I want to meet you. I'm like, dude, I'll tell you what, you hit $5,000 your first month, you can come see me. And you made what? 5,400, 5,100?
Yeah.
Over 5,000. So walk me through that process. Like what went through your head? What was the decisions you had to make? And then what was the schedule you had to keep? Because guys, a lot of people watch this and they're like, oh dude, this sounds so too good to be true. You're making all this money, you're traveling. Dude, there's hard work involved here. I'm not going to tell you this isn't hard work. There's discipline, there's hard work, there's consistency. And he's going to share with you what that schedule looks like in this type of a job.
Yeah. So I hopped on a call with you. I asked you to be my mentor. I asked you like, can I see you in person, Bridger? He wanted me to have some skin in the game. He set a challenge for me. He's like, if you make 5K, you can actually, come and see me in Scottsdale. I got to earn it,
It's true.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I took it seriously. I wrote it down. I was like, okay, I'm going to make 5K right now. It was, I think, the 10th of April. Mm-hmm. Set like 10th of May, I'm going to make 5K per month. Exactly in 30 days. So I laid out a plan. Right now, I was already on a roll for about like a week in. I was like, okay, this role, there's no way it's going to pay me like 5K by the end of this month. So I got to do something. I think that week or the following week, you talk about on one of your weekly coaching calls to always operate like as if like you have a gun to your head. It's like, what would I do if like I have a gun to my head, I need to make 5K per month. Right? This is the whole beauty of sales, you know. If I had a job, I wouldn't be able to make 5K because it's fixed, it's capped, right? Like sales is the only job where you can actually go and like you're gonna give me 5K in order for me to, you know, come meet Bridger, right? It's a commission only job. So that's the whole beauty of sales. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna get in a role. I met with this guy somehow. He knew like a business operator, and I went on his team, got accepted. And it was like 3 men's operation. That was like a week in after my call with Bridger. And then I was like, okay, I need to set this thing. It's like they just launched an offer. It was a 3K like inner circle program or something like that. I was the only setter setting for a closer. The first 3 or 4 days, we did 40K in revenue. I was the only setter.
How much did you make?
I made so 40K. Yeah, I made like 2K.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a week?
Yeah. Yeah, message. I posted on school as well.
I remember that.
And then the business operator is like, okay, this guy's good. You know, I have this like mastermind coming up. Okay, I'm gonna get you on that row. So I was working 3 rows at the time. My first row is, you know, B2B. Second row is like that new row. And third row is like, he's like, okay, this guy's good. I'm gonna get him on this role part-time. It was a mastermind. I think we had like 25 spots. We sold maybe 4 spots when I came in or came on. There was 2 closers. I was the only setter.
So you're working 3 jobs.
3 jobs right now
goal.
just to like be here right now.
Wow. So what's a day in the life look like? Like what time are you waking up? What time are you going to bed? Like walk me through your day.
Yeah. So I go to bed at around 9 p.m. Wake up at 6, take a shower, jump straight into work. Oh, I pray every time I wake up. So that's what I do.
Fire.
Jump straight into work. I work from maybe like 7. The first thing I do, by the way, is role play with my buddy, which Bridger, you know, paired me up with.
Who's your battle buddy?
Diego.
Fire.
So shout out to Diego. I role play with you every single morning for 1 hour or 45 minutes, and then every single night. So twice a day. That's the minimum standard. That's what I do. And then the whole day is just me on the phone setting calls. I was setting probably like 12 sets every single day on average for like 3 offers. So yeah, I was implementing everything that Bridger told me, the framework, everything like that. You know, David as well. I sent him voice notes, like what should I do with this? How should I, you know, frame this, and how should I write my script? Yeah. And then yeah, I implemented everything. I actually became one of his like top setters, or not, like if not the best.
For who?
Because for the business operator that I was talking about.
Fire.
Like he let me in the group. He said, hey, this is my best setter. He's the GOAT. Tao. I implemented everything. And that's because of you and thanks to you. So yeah, that was basically like what I did to get to 5K per month.
Wow.
Just to be here.
If you're watching this right now and you're one of those pathetic losers that says that you're forced to go to college, number one, you're already being a victim. You're already a little baby. Okay. If anybody's forcing you and they don't have a gun to your head or they're threatening to kill you, then you're not being forced. You're being influenced. And the problem is that the most certain person in any interaction will always influence the less certain person. So really what you're telling me in that statement is that you're less certain about the direction of your future than your parents are for the direction of your future. And the problem is too many people are watching this right now and are living their lives not as the main character on the big screen. They're letting, you know, cab driver number 1, right? Ed Elliot talks about this. Cab driver number 1 influence their life, right? Or other people who aren't the main characters in their life influence the direction and the story that's built on the big screen of your life, which is the life that you live. And so I challenge you to really, how can you create freedom in your life? This is for me the core fundamentals of this program. It's built on freedom. This country was built on freedom. My belief system around God and Christianity, it's built on freedom spiritually. So if you want to create freedom in all areas of your life, then you need to start questioning your beliefs, right? The Bible talks about don't be conformed to this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? So if you want to get to the next level, then don't conform to your circumstances, transform and transcend to another level. And so that's what really pisses me off is all these kids that are like, I have to go to college, I'm being forced. Dude, why don't you go actually learn a real high income skill? Sales is one, right? If you don't want to learn, I think it's the best skill ever because you can apply it to literally everything. I had one of my students, she came in, was a sales rep, took her skills. Now she runs her own copywriting business. Freelance copywriter, works maybe 10, 15 hours a week, makes 5 to 20,000 a month consistently, right? She might be doing more now. So,
Nice.
So for me, I'm going to get a high income skill. Okay. I'm collecting cash. I'm investing in mentorship and resources, and I'm building a career around that. Now, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, surgeon, like any of those types, like go down the traditional route, but no, it's going to take much longer than if you were to be like doing what I'm doing. Like if I was going to go and become a lawyer, I'd still be in school to get my bar.
Yep.
I would be an intern, maybe making 60, 80, maybe 100,000 a year. My best year, I made 400 grand. And that was at 22 years old, right? Like I've made $300,000 and $400,000 consistently the last 2 years. And I haven't done that by going to college. I dropped out of college at 18.
Yep.
So in the next part 2, stay tuned. We're going to be dropping here shortly. If you're watching this channel, make sure you're subscribed because it's going to be some heat. GT's going to have an opportunity to spend about 15, 20 minutes asking me the most pressing questions that an 18-year-old who starts making his first $5,000 a month wants to get to 20 is going to be. So make sure you share this with someone that doesn't believe that making money online is possible or real or that it's a scam, because this is flesh and blood. This isn't a hologram. This isn't the metaverse. This is a man named GT, right? Who's from Vietnam, who has the immigrant edge, who's working harder than you because you're a privileged white person, okay? Or, I mean, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, but typically right now, the most villainized person is a privileged white person. Why? Well, because they aren't taking advantage of the opportunities that they have that most people are literally risking their lives to have. So I commend you for that, bro. Congratulations on your success. And when you hit 10K a month, we'll bring you back to the show.
Nice, man.
Cheers, brother.